iiCON is designed to be able to speed up getting products through to market, taking some of the pinch points where things naturally fail. The Human Challenge platform is one of the major platforms that we've got within the iiCON consortium, and that's been put into the programme because it allows us to do first-in-man studies in a much more truncated format than a standard phase 1 clinical trial. That means less expense, fewer volunteers, and getting the results out quicker for the companies in terms of whether their new vaccine or drug candidate is going to work well.
We're really helping people to get access much quicker to much cheaper vaccines and drugs that can help them to stop these diseases out there. The way that we do that is that we can infect people with a live virus or a live bacteria in a very safe manner. And by infecting someone, we actually know when the person got in contact with that virus or bacteria, which allow for a very precise, fast and much more cost-effective way of testing drugs and immunotherapeutic. Using the Human Challenge model, what we do is that you can give the companies very early on a way of testing if their drug merits or not to be taken forward for that very large investment, because we can, with only 100, 200 subjects, test if the drug is effective. And by doing that, the company gets the reassurance of investors whether they should move that forward in the pipeline. So you spend a little bit upfront into development of the product, but save you a lot more going forward. So here in the Accelerator Research Building, we have unique facilities to do human challenge models. So this human challenge facility, which at the moment has 18 outpatient beds, it's a bespoke dedicated research facility outside the hospital setting, which sees volunteers coming in. They can see their clinical doctors and the nurses. They get their vaccines that is part of the trials we are testing, and the samples that are taken from them go straight into the laboratory for processing. So this co-located space allows for a very rapid logistics of the whole trial, which saves a lot of time. And if you save time in a clinical trial development, you also save money. So this is a very unique setting. I've never seen anything like this scale and space before in the world. So iiCON brings together several partners, an industry, the hospital, HAEs, and the advantage of this is that all that expertise can be pulled together to accelerate product development. So one example is our very close relationship with the University Hospital, Luft, and that type of very specialized work can only be done when you bring experts together.
The Royal Liverpool Clinical Research Unit is a fundamental part of the iiCON consortium and forms part of the overall network for delivery of clinical trials. And these are particularly clinical trials that are in the earliest phases, often first into human, and support our partners in the delivery of their assets in an MHRA phase 1 accredited facility. The Clinical Research Unit here sits right at the centre of iiCON's offering for clinical trials and works closely with both our academic partners in the consortium, such as the University of Liverpool and the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine, but also with our industry partners to transition their asset from very early stage animal work through to first into human clinical trial. The iiCON consortium is hugely innovative, and I think it brings a huge amount to all the partners involved. So particularly thinking about our SME partners, the ability to obtain expertise from the individual institutions all together through the iiCON partnership adds tremendous value to the work we do in trying to deliver these novel therapeutics, these novel devices, these novel products, and turning those into valuable assets that will benefit patients, consumers, etc.
One of the advantages of the Human Challenge is that it allows for SMEs to test their innovative products and accelerate innovation. And during the pandemic, we have demonstrated that being agile is extremely important. And SMEs really like, because when they engage with us, they have a very one-off solution where we developed the protocols, we test their products, we analyze the samples, and we give that whole portfolio that they are looking for in a very agile way.
The human challenge model is really revolutionising the way that we can look at clinical trials, because it allows us to look at specific diseases where we have a good model for that. And at the moment we've got that for things like pneumococcus, for flu. We're developing it for respiratory syncytial virus and TB, and check whether or not new drugs or new vaccines that different companies are developing for these really important diseases are going to work well. The Human Challenge Facility is going to be really important for pandemic preparedness going forward. We've got some great vaccines that have just come through. Those have gone through classic phase 1 to phase 3 vaccine testing. But with the next stage of SARS vaccines that come through, where we're developing different vaccines to different variants, you won't be able to test those in exactly the same way. The Human Challenge Facility allows us to be able to look at these new variants of SARS vaccine as they come through in a human challenge model and get the answers out much more quickly as to whether these variant vaccines are far more efficient than the old vaccines against new variants. So in the arms race that we're going to get into between new variants coming through and manufacturers generating new vaccines, exactly as we have for flu vaccines every year, then the human challenge will be a key part of being able to make sure that we get the best vaccines coming through.